Welcome to Cindy's Library, and today I'm going to talk about what I read in the second half of August. So let's get to it. Now, to start with, I did indeed finish and start the Mage Storm trilogy in the second half of August. Have a full review, but to put it shortly, it's the Kingdom of Valdemar, where magic of several different sorts does exist, and people with these types of abilities tend to be guided by a being that looks like a horse they call a companion. White horse, blue eyes, silver hooves, sound unlike a regular horse's hooves. They're benign spirits sent to guide those in important positions. And in the Mage Storm trilogy, well, neighboring kingdom of Harden, they got rid of the king there, Ankar, who was frankly mad and doing many, many terrible things on many, many levels. And Hulda, a magician who was assisting him. And that, of course, is when the Eastern Empire decided it would be a good time to start annexing Hardorn for themselves. So this is what our heroes are facing at the beginning of the story. Little do they know that's the least of what they're going to have to face in these 3 books. Yep. Has one of my very favorite characters in all the Valdemar world, Carl, Carsight's son priest. He's such a good guy. I love reading about him. What can I say? Let's see, I also read The Man Who Was Thursday by G.K. Chesterton. It's hard to describe what exactly this story is about, although the subtitle does give a hint. The Man Who Was Thursday, a Nightmare. We start with a man, Gabriel Syme. He is a poet, and we also learn that he is far more than a poet, and he also gets, he intentionally gets involved in things that turn out being much bigger than he thought. It's complicated, but there is a mystery aspect, which is interesting, a philosophical element, not surprising for Chesterton, and plenty of paradoxes and ridiculousness as well. So I read that. I also finished Claude Monet, Waterlilies and the Garden of Giverny. This is a gorgeous book. Let's see. Here is an example. Absolutely gorgeous. And as you can also see, plenty of texts talking about Monet, his life, his artwork, things along those lines. Found it very, very interesting. I'm glad I read it. Don't know very much about art, but the only way to cure that is to start learning more about art. So there we go. And that was all that I managed to finish up. The second half of August was very, very busy, full of uh, trips and family and all sorts of things. Enjoyable, but it did cut down on my reading. But that's what happens sometimes. What do you do? Anyway, how did your August reading go? I would love to hear about it. Love to hear if you read any of these. Hope we are all staying safe and healthy. Thank you so much for stopping by. And until next time, happy reading.